Today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Normally on this channel, we share new innovations and products as well as provide tutorials on how to use them. But who actually installs these products and who uses them to protect their business? At Speco Technologies, we have a vast network of dealers and integrators responsible for purchasing and installing our manufactured products. In this video, we sit down with ITG Larson, one of our aforementioned dealer partners. With our products, ITG Larson provided an end user, Buzzed Express Coffee, with a beautiful surveillance system to keep their property safe. We also visited Buzzed Express Coffee to see how Speco Technologies has enhanced their business. We want to thank both Eric Maselli from ITG Larson and Greg Camarda from Buzzed Express Coffee for taking the time to chat with us. Now, without further ado, let's jump into our first video interview with ITG Larson.
So, Eric, again, very nice to meet you. So I just, kind of wanted to start a little bit and get to know ITG Larson.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about you guys. Tell me about yourself. Tell me what you guys do.
Sure. So ITG Larson, we're a security integration company. We're focused on providing innovative engineered solutions relating to security, physical security solutions, such as access control, CCTV, parking gates, video intercoms, PLC systems, and a whole mass of different integrated systems. I'm the CTO for ITG Larson. ITG Larson was established in 1997. We're located in White Plains, New York. We're just about half hour north of New York City. I've been in the integration business per se for over 20 years. So it's been a wonderful adventure so far.
Absolutely. That's a great backstory. ITG Larson specifically does, a little bit of access control, CCTV as well. So, that's kind of what we specialize in. So
yes. I'm
curious, when did you, start hearing about Speco? When did you start, installing Speco? Kind of what was that introduction like?
So Speco, I know they've been around for a long time, right? And over the years, obviously, I've bumped into Speco systems, or we've done installations before in the past. I feel like they've always been consistent over the years. It's also one of the nice things about it's a local company as well. You're not dealing with somebody who's outside of the country. So that to me is a big part of it. Specifically, that you guys were able to maintain NDA compliance, right?
Absolutely. We really appreciate the kind words. So, you mentioned that we've been around a long time, and we, certainly have. So, is there any product specifically that, you see in the industry, or, see that we manufacture, and it's like, okay, that reminds me of Speco?
Day-night cameras, the ones that give you the full color cameras, and, at night, which is incredible.
Right.
We ended up using one of the cameras. We actually have a gas station who's a friend of the owner nearby, and he had a car stolen, believe it or not, at 4 a.m. And we installed one of the night cameras, and we couldn't believe, the clarity of the camera and the quality, and not to mention the price point. Something like that, you would expect that it's a product that should cost thousands of dollars, but which it doesn't, which is incredible. So I'm a huge fan of the night vision color. I'm sure there's a better word for you, Matt, that you would prefer to use that than.
Well, so you're describing our intensifier cameras.
Intensifier, okay, that's good.
So now going into a little bit more on the technical side. The installation of Speco products. What is your process like? Is it easy? Is it difficult? What is that process like for you guys?
So one of the systems that we did, the guys actually struggled a little bit because the system was overly simplified. So we deal with a lot of enterprise level type of installations, where everything gets a static IP, everything has a specific, has a certain order of things. Now, some of the guys didn't realize that you're plugging stuff in and it just starts working magically almost without much configuration or a complex setup. And the guys were kind of taken back a little bit because they had a harder time figuring out, okay, how do we try to mold the system into how we do our installations, so that's where they struggled. But once we got through that, it was the next system was much easier because we understood exactly what to expect and what to do and how much simpler it was. So it definitely helped a lot on cutting back on the labor. We generally, when we do any systems that we do, we bring it in-house first, and then what we do is we put it on the test bench and pre-program everything according to the customer specs. We IP everything, we label everything. Our labels match our drawings, for example. Sometimes we may have electricians installing, so when we give a camera to an electrician to install, we give them with a label and a drawing saying this camera, this is camera number 5. It's going to go here where it says camera number 5 on the specific drawing. So it makes it's much more simpler, I think, as far as implementation.
Got it. And so just to confirm, the Speco products as your first installation were too simple to install.
Yeah. A little, we're very used to doing things a certain way. So it's kind of like, okay, this is plug and play,
Right.
It's almost felt like it was an analog system for a little bit. Back in the days when you used an analog camera, you plugged it into an analog port and the camera just came up. You may have to adjust it, but you don't even have to adjust them anymore. You just plug it in and they pick up, they start recording, they start doing everything that you needed to do out of the box.
Right.
So,
I'm sure that assisted your team with cutting down on installation times and being able to install more.
I may take one of the NVRs and put a bad drive just to keep the engineering group, busier, for a couple more hours,
Right.
when they're doing that.
Keep them on their toes.
Yeah, that's right.
That's so funny. I'm sure as you've installed more Speco products, most of our cameras come with the included junction box. Can you talk a little bit about that and what kind of benefit that provides for you?
Absolutely. Every installation is slightly different. There are some camera manufacturers that don't even provide you with a junction box, right, with the camera. Now, a lot of people don't realize that is that you have to go to one of the local suppliers and try to find a universal junction box, right? The problem with that is it's nice and I'm sure it'll fit. Sometimes they don't align perfectly. And also a lot of the colors, they don't match the camera, so especially if you're working on a newer building, the architect might be a little bit upset with you if you put a back box that's got a light gray color and the camera has a dark gray or vice versa, right? And that causes some issues, So it's very nice that the junction box is included. The electricians, they were happy, but it made the installation a lot easier, for the installers.
Well, that's great to hear because that's our main goal with the addition of the junction boxes with the cameras is to create an easier installation for you guys and the ability to provide more installations and get more stuff out there. So I'm glad to see that it's working the way it's intended. We do our tech support in-house. I'm sure you guys have called into our tech support. Can you explain that process?
They were very helpful. They followed up on email. From what I remember, one person actually gave his cell phone number and said, hey, just send me a text, let me know what it is so I can call you back. There's a lot of tech supports that they're overseas or they hide their personal numbers or they even their extension numbers that you don't have direct access to the person when you're working with them, That is pretty nice, and it felt like I was working with a partner, not some guy that I'm not sure, who's outside of New York or even outside of the country.
Absolutely. We really stress that partnership.
Yeah.
We want to be able to, partner up with you, provide great service and products for our customers. So it's certainly great to hear that. Talking a little bit about Buzz and installation. Do you guys remember that installation? How did it go?
Of course, very well. Buzz Coffee, their coffee shop, 3 of them actually in Long Island. They needed something that was simple, right? Simple and something that they can heavily rely on as well, right? Being in Long Island, it was a perfect selection for the types of cameras that we were using as far as budget. And we selected, Speco to do the installation. We didn't have many challenges as far as the video system. They were pretty much, they were set up in our shop. We plugged it in. Our biggest challenge was the network wasn't available on one site, but we didn't have to open up firewalls. We didn't have to find, they're a small company. They don't have an in-house IT guy person, right? So it's not like you can call them up and say, hey, let me talk to your IT person. It just doesn't exist, right? And a lot of times when we run into these situations, our IT guy is on site logging into the cable company and, asking for account numbers because a lot of it's locked out nowadays. And opening firewall ports, but we really didn't have to do any of that. It was just plug and play, assign an IP address to the recorder, make sure we got online, use the app, scan the barcode, and we were seeing pictures on the phone. And we also use it for remote support. So when they call us to say, hey, this camera not working, or the image is not clear, or I can't do playback or anything, we can log in remotely and take a look to see and try to duplicate their issue. One of the biggest things that we try to do is we have our own in-house IT remote support for customers. So what that means is when the customer has a problem, they call us or email us or whatever, but we generally log into their system and try to take a look at the problem and duplicate the problem. That way, when we dispatch somebody, we'll have a technician with the truck and the correct parts that are there to minimize the return trip. And that's, to us, return trips and uptime is very important for us, right?
So you mentioned that a very big part of your business, and something you guys try to keep to a minimum, is rolling trucks and trying to get to the customer site.
Absolutely.
So we have something in development that will be coming very soon, called the Speco dashboard. So the Speco dashboard is going to be an all-in-one solution where you can monitor the healthcare of your installed NVRs and by extension the cameras as well, allowing your team to monitor your customer sites and provide them with maintenance before they even know they need it.
Yes, and that's tremendous. Absolutely. A lot of obviously, usually you find out that there's a problem, especially hard drive related, when they're looking for video, right? And it's probably one of the worst phone conversations to have with somebody, say, sorry, I can't produce video for you. So I think that's important. I think on the dashboard, it's ultimately important to check health of storage and recording.
And that's really, our goal with that as well.
Huge thank you to Eric from ITG Larson. We appreciate the time and the kind words. Eric's team covers the greater tri-state area, and we're incredibly fortunate to have such a great partner. You can check out their website in the description below. One of ITG Larson's latest installations took place at Buzzed Express Coffee, who have 3 separate locations on Long Island. We got the chance to catch up with Greg, the owner of Buzzed Express Coffee, to learn about how Speco Technologies helps him and his business every day. Hi, I'm Matt from Speco Technologies, and I'm here with Greg from Buzz Coffee. Greg, could you just introduce yourself a little bit?
So my name is Greg from Buzz Express Coffee, 25 years old, from Long Island, my whole life. Yeah, I'm excited to be doing this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the time today. So I just want to learn a little bit more about Buzz Coffee. Talk about, the inception of it and, kind of the start to finish, how you guys have progressed and, how you do it so far.
Yeah, it was 2 years in the baking. We really just kind of had the idea based on what we were seeing in the area. Drive-through lines were crazy for coffee. I love coffee. My family loves coffee, so we were trying to figure out a different way to, kind of like revolutionize coffee a little bit. That's that word, but just trying to give a different take on coffee.
Absolutely. The place looks great too.
Thank you.
But, as any business owner, the need for security is paramount. You will always need to make sure that your property is safe, secure, and that you take the proper precautions to make sure that everything goes smooth. So, we noticed around the building that there are some Speco cameras in there. So, what was that process like? What was the idea that you guys needed security? How did that, come about? And then how did you, ultimately land on Speco?
So we obviously needed something that was going to give us, full coverage. it's very possible somebody could come in and break in. Somebody maybe, hitting the building, cars constantly go. That actually hasn't happened yet with school, but we fell into your guys' lab, but we're ITG. They set us up with you guys, and they did a really good job helping get us all set up. And we've been very happy. Luckily, we haven't had anything happen, so really happy about that. And if they do, they're screwed.
Absolutely. So ITG Larson's a great partner of ours. They came in, they installed, they can help train you if you need any sort of, new products, anything coming out, they'll be your first line of defense. They'll help you out. They're great partners of ours. So moving forward with that, you mentioned that everything's gone smoothly. What has been the easiest part about that installation process and then continuing to use the Speco products?
Well, for setup, I didn't have to do anything. That was cool. So, and ITG's been really helpful with, if we do have any questions, they, help us out, no problem. The interface is great. The playback is great. Just as a funny side note, well, a lot of times something funny will happen in here where somebody falls. We immediately go to the playback, immediately. So they always have a fun time doing that. But everything's worked really well. We really have not had a single problem. It's very easy to use. The picture quality is great. If we need to, check on something that's going on if we're not here, we don't have a problem doing that. So got no complaints on my end.
Awesome. So you had a lot of great things to say about Speco, and we definitely do appreciate that. Do you have any final notes before we let you go today?
Nothing. Keep doing great work. If somebody, comes and tries to break in or steal anything, they're done. They're done for. No, I just want to say thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it, and keep doing a good job.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Greg. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we'll enjoy a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's us. Thank you so much again, Greg. Well, there you have it. The transition from manufacturer to installer and ultimately to the end user. We hope you enjoyed and learned a little something along the way. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out and allows us to make more videos like this one. Thank you for watching, and thank you for choosing Speco. Here I am trying my Buzz coffee. I got the Rainbow Cookie Cold Brew, so we're gonna give it a score. Easy, 10.